Hey YouTube, Untamed here. So I'm actually out in Bend, Oregon right now, and I figured I'd just swing by the local Toyota dealerships and just see what they had in stock. So this particular 2021 Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro in Lunar Rock is sold already. It's back here in their sold lot, but I still figured I would park next to it with my 4Runner there and just kind of talk about it and show it to you guys. So nothing new. I mean, I have showed one of these before, but this one is a little different, a smidge different. It has the Predator side tube steps there, as you can see, as well as that rear bed decal, which I'll show you here in a second, which I'm kind of indifferent on. I personally have never gravitated to decals, and when I bought my Ford Raptor, I purposely bought one that did not have the decals on it, just because I think it's, I don't know, you don't need to scream to people what you're driving. I mean, if they know, they know, right? So that's kind of my stance on it. But I figured I'd take this as a real quick opportunity just to talk about something I don't think I've talked about before. So a lot of people, you know, they long for the days of the V8 back in the 4Runner. So people are always commenting saying, man, if only they put that V8 back in it, it'd be so much better. Personally, and I mean this, I've never considered the 4Runner to be gutless. With a 4.0 6-liter connected to that 5-speed automatic transmission, I've never considered this platform, this power plant, to be gutless ever, and I mean that. Of course, do you long for more power, especially having owned a Raptor, having owned the V8 5.7-liter V8 Toyota Tundra? Do you always long for more power? A little bit. I mean, of course, but I've never actually thought that, you know, this is a poor freeway cruiser. A lot of people will comment on my video saying, you know, I don't even bother taking a 4Runner on the freeway because they're gutless. I don't know. I mean, you let me know what you guys think. I've never really proposed that question to you guys holistically, but I don't know. I think this, connected to the 5-speed with the longer gears, I think it's perfect. I've never truly, I don't know, I never truly thought it was underpowered. Whereas with the Tacoma, you guys remember my old videos of my 2017s that I had. I do think that with this, and I know there's was it the OV tune? There's tune. You can do a tune. You can do re-gearing. There's options out there to make it much more snappy. So let me kind of preface it with that. But in its stock form, at least 2017s. I don't want to speak largely for all of them. Maybe there was a little bit of a difference between 2017 and like the 21 here, but I don't know. I did think, I did always feel that this was gutless by comparison. So it's crazy with, this has a 6-speed automatic transmission if I'm recalling correctly, whereas of course that is a 5-speed. So that plays a role within it because you got longer gears, less gears, and they're longer. So you don't feel like you're constantly shifting, whereas that is the case with this one. You're always kind of hunting for gears. That is a real thing. And not to mention, you know, I think on paper, it has a little bit more power. I should have double checked before making this video. I think on paper, the 3.5 liter in this has a little bit more power than that, I think. If not, they're neck and neck, okay? But you would never guess it because it's always shifting gears, trying to get that best fuel economy for the most part. You got the ECT button, electronically controlled transmission. You can kind of up it a little bit so it has sharper shift points. Best used for towing. So I mean, you have tools at your disposal to make it a little bit better, but when you're just hopping in and you're driving every single day, I do think the 4-liter in the previous generation Tacoma, which had the 4-liter connected to the 5-speed automatic, same as the 4Runner, I just think it's superior. And honestly, I think a lot of people think that way too, because I think they end up gravitating toward the 4Runner because of that. You know, I'm not going to make this a whole video talking through, you know, the differences between them. I'll do an in-depth walk around here in a minute, but I don't know, with the Tacoma or with the 4Runner, the fact that it's still built in Japan, I think it kind of lands at some cool points. Whereas this, you know, I mean, I think it's really out of, I think, Texas or Mexico at this point, right? So I don't know. I think that there's a amount of cool points involved with this still being made and manufactured out of Japan, which is pretty neat. So let's do again, I'm not going to dissect the differences. I've done a video on that, but let me just kind of walk around. I'll show it to you. Let's look at the bed decal first. I don't know, let me know what you guys think of this. especially in the shade here, this Lunar Rock, I think it looks awesome. Look how bright the difference is here. I think it looks awesome. A little bit better than the Lime Rush, at least at first impression. I do think the Lime Rush is gonna, if that's what they're calling it, the 2022 exclusive TRD Pro color. I think that might be a color that you just have to see in person to appreciate. And I think, I mean, the same went for Voodoo Blue. Whenever I saw photos of it, I was kind of underwhelmed, but until you saw it in person, you're like, holy cow. And kind of with Army Green a little bit, I felt that way, but mainly with Voodoo Blue. So who knows, it might be awesome. By the looks of it, they're doing away with these wheels into the 2022 model TRD Pro. By the looks of it, at least by the teaser shots, right? So don't know definitively yet. So the main reason to get this over the 4Runner is Exhibit A. So having a bed is, I don't know, this can come in clutch often. As you guys know who have trucks, it is vital to have that option, just because you never know the day where you need to help out a friend, or you know, you got a dirty lawnmower that needs to be picked up and hauled. You never know when that day is going to come, so it's always good to have that where you don't have to throw it in the back of your nice clean cabin of your SUV for the most part. Gonna pop down here and give you a side shot. So definitely a sweet rig. I love Lunar Rock. I do think it's better than Army Green, and I can honestly say that now because well, actually, no, I can't. Gosh, I got one. Well, even going into, before getting my 4Runner, my Lunar Rock one, and we'll talk more about that, I've always just kind of thought this was I don't know, a color that would age better over time compared to Army Green. But you guys let me know. I know a lot of you prefer Army Green, and that's okay because they're both awesome. At any rate, team, I will wrap. Actually, you know what? We'll show you this real quick. Kind of a side-by-side. Here's your cement gray, a TRD off-road. You can kind of see that immediate difference between the two. So a lot more of a greenish hue, of course, to the Lunar Rock, which I think looks stunning. All right, guys. Well, I will wrap up the video there. Appreciate you watching as always. Until next time.